My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because something has been hidden in silence for far too long, and if this story has found you today, perhaps it is because your heart has been searching for answers. Stay till the end because what you are about to hear feels like the missing piece of a puzzle you didn't even realize you were holding. This is a fictional, inspirational story about love, healing, and courage, not a prediction of real events. But the emotions within it may resonate with your own journey. For a long time, your soulmate carried a secret they never found the courage to speak aloud. Every time they thought about telling you the truth, fear stepped in before love had the chance. They wondered if you would understand. They wondered if too much time had passed. They wondered if silence had already created a distance that could never be crossed. So they smiled when people were watching, stayed busy when life demanded it, and hid the one truth their heart refused to let go of. But the more they buried those feelings, the stronger they became. Listen carefully because this changes everything. There were nights when everyone else was asleep, yet your soulmate remained awake, replaying old conversations and remembering moments that seemed ordinary at the time but had become unforgettable in their heart. They remembered your kindness when no one else noticed. They remembered your laughter during difficult seasons. They remembered the small details that most people would have forgotten. Those memories became a quiet reminder that some connections cannot simply be erased by time or distance. What happened next changed everything. One ordinary day, while going about life as usual, something unexpectedly reminded them of you. It could have been a familiar song, a place filled with memories, or a simple phrase spoken by someone else. In that moment, they stopped pretending that their feelings had disappeared. They realized they had only been hiding from them. The truth they had tried to escape was still waiting patiently inside their heart, asking to be acknowledged. My beloved child, the secret they have been carrying is not about perfection or certainty. It is about honesty. They secretly admire the strength you showed during moments when you believed no one was paying attention. They secretly respect the kindness you offered even after disappointment. They secretly appreciate the way you stayed true to yourself when it would have been easier to become bitter. Those quiet qualities became impossible for them to forget, even when life pulled you in different directions. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate has begun to understand that silence cannot protect love forever. Every day they remain quiet, the words they want to say grow heavier. Every day they imagine what it would feel like to finally speak openly, to stop hiding behind uncertainty, and to let their heart be seen exactly as it is. The fear has not completely disappeared, but for the first time, it is no longer stronger than hope. Listen carefully because this is the turning point. Your soulmate's greatest secret is not a hidden name, a mysterious sign, or an impossible prediction. Their secret is that they have changed. The person who once believed vulnerability was weakness now understands it is courage. The person who once avoided difficult conversations now realizes that honesty is the only path to peace. The person who once feared losing everything now fears living with regret even more. My beloved child, Heaven reminds you through this story that meaningful relationships are built on truth, patience, forgiveness, and mutual respect. Whether this story reflects your own life or simply encourages your heart, let it remind you never to allow fear to speak louder than love, and never to let pride silence words that could bring healing. But this is only the beginning. In the next chapter, the secret your soulmate has carried for so long finally reaches the surface, and the decision they make afterward has the power to change everything they believed about love, hope, and second chances. Stay till the end, my beloved child. The most beautiful part of this story has not yet been revealed. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because the story is becoming more powerful with every passing moment. The secret your soulmate has carried for so long is no longer something they can hide behind a smile or bury beneath everyday life. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything, and the truth they are finally beginning to accept has the power to transform the way they see both you and themselves. Since the day they admitted their feelings to their own heart, something inside them has refused to stay quiet. They wake up thinking about unfinished conversations. They find themselves smiling at memories they once tried to forget. They catch themselves wondering what you are doing at unexpected moments, and each time your name enters their thoughts, they feel the same question echo inside them: what if I still have a chance to tell the truth? That question follows them everywhere because love has become impossible to ignore. Listen carefully because this changes everything. Your soulmate's secret is not simply that they miss you. It is that they have never stopped believing there was something unique about the connection you shared. They tried to replace the memories with new experiences. They tried to convince themselves that life would be easier if they simply moved on. But every new chapter reminded them of an old one that never truly ended. They finally realized that running from their feelings only made them stronger. What happened next changed everything. One quiet evening, they found themselves reading old messages, looking at familiar places in photographs, and remembering words that seemed ordinary when they were first spoken. Suddenly, they understood something that had been hidden from them all along. The moments they treasured most were never the grand or dramatic ones. They were the simple moments when they felt understood, accepted, and at peace. Those were the moments they secretly wished they could experience again. My beloved child, stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate has started imagining a future where fear no longer makes their decisions. They imagine reaching out without pretending they don't care. They imagine speaking honestly instead of hiding behind silence. They imagine telling you that the greatest mistake they ever made was believing they had endless time to say what mattered most. Every day that vision becomes more real, and every day the courage to act grows stronger. Listen carefully because heaven reveals another part of the secret they have never shared with anyone. They admire you not because they believe you are perfect, but because you inspired them to become a better version of themselves. Your kindness challenged them. Your strength encouraged them. Your resilience reminded them that love is not about finding someone flawless. It is about finding someone whose presence helps you grow. That realization has changed the way they see every decision they have made since you entered their life. The distance that once seemed impossible now feels smaller. The silence that once felt permanent now feels temporary. The doubts that once controlled them are slowly giving way to hope. They are beginning to understand that honesty may feel frightening, but regret is far heavier to carry than vulnerability. This changes everything because, for the first time, they are preparing their heart not to hide, but to speak. My beloved child, remember that this story is an invitation to reflect on hope, courage, and honest communication, not a prediction of future events. Yet its message remains powerful. The strongest connections are nurtured through truth, patience, and mutual respect. And sometimes, the greatest secret is simply the courage to say, "This is how I truly feel." But the biggest revelation is still ahead. In the next chapter, your soulmate makes a decision they have postponed for far too long, and the words they have rehearsed in silence are finally ready to be spoken. Stay till the end. The most emotional part of this journey has not yet been revealed. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because you have reached the chapter where silence begins to lose its power. For so long, your soulmate believed they could carry their secret forever. They thought time would erase the feelings, that distance would quiet the memories, and that life would eventually lead them in another direction. But instead of fading, the emotions became stronger. Instead of disappearing, they became impossible to ignore. Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. Your soulmate has reached a moment where their heart and their mind are no longer in agreement. Their mind still whispers, "What if it's too late? What if they have already moved on? What if I only reopen old wounds?" But their heart answers with a different voice. It says, "What if this is the chance you've been waiting for? What if silence is the only thing standing between you and the truth?" Every day this inner battle grows more intense, and for the first time, the heart is beginning to win. Listen carefully because this changes everything. A quiet realization has settled deep within them. They finally understand that the greatest risk is not being honest, it is living with the regret of never speaking at all. They have imagined countless futures, but every one of them feels incomplete unless they know they tried. That thought has stayed with them through busy mornings, quiet evenings, and sleepless nights. No matter where they go, one question keeps returning: what if I simply tell them the truth? What happened next changed everything. One evening, they sat alone with nothing but their thoughts. They opened a blank message on their phone and stared at the screen for what felt like forever. They typed a few words, erased them, and typed again. They wanted every sentence to be perfect, but then they realized something important. Love has never needed perfect words. It only needs honest ones. That realization lifted a weight they had been carrying for far too long. My beloved child, the secret they have wanted you to know is finally becoming clear. It is not just that they miss you. It is not just that they think about you. The deeper truth is that meeting you changed the way they understand love itself. Before you, they believed love was about certainty. After you, they discovered it was about courage. Before you, they believed vulnerability was weakness. After you, they learned it could become their greatest strength. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is no longer trying to escape their emotions. Instead, they are learning to embrace them. They have begun letting go of old fears, old pride, and old excuses. They know they cannot rewrite yesterday, but they still have the opportunity to shape tomorrow. Every step they take now feels lighter because they are finally walking toward the truth instead of away from it. Listen carefully because this is the turning point of the story. The walls around their heart are beginning to fall one by one. The silence that once felt safe now feels heavy. The distance that once seemed necessary now feels unbearable. They are discovering that the greatest act of love is not hiding your feelings, it is having the courage to express them with honesty and respect, whatever the outcome may be. My beloved child, this story is a reminder that genuine relationships grow through openness, patience, and trust, not through fear or assumptions. Whether this story reflects your own journey or simply offers encouragement, let it inspire you to value honest communication and the courage to speak from the heart. But don't leave yet. The final chapter is still ahead. In the conclusion, your soulmate makes the decision they have delayed for so long, the secret they have guarded finally becomes a heartfelt confession, and this journey ends not with fear or uncertainty, but with hope, healing, and a beautiful new beginning. Stay till the end. The best part of this story is still to come. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because you have arrived at the chapter where everything your soulmate has been feeling begins to reach its breaking point. The secret they have carried in silence has become too heavy to hold any longer. Every day they wake up with the same thought, and every night they go to sleep with the same question. How much longer can I pretend that my heart isn't calling out for them? Stay till the end because what happened next changed everything. For weeks, your soulmate has been noticing signs that remind them of you in the most unexpected moments. A familiar song begins to play while they're driving. A place you once talked about suddenly appears in conversation. Even the smallest things seem to bring your memory back into focus. At first, they dismissed these moments as coincidence. But as they continued, they realized the memories were no longer something they could outrun. Instead of resisting them, they finally allowed themselves to feel every emotion they had buried for so long. Listen carefully because this changes everything. Your soulmate has stopped asking whether their feelings are real. That question has already been answered. Now they are asking something much deeper. Am I brave enough to let them know what has been in my heart all this time? They understand that honesty carries risk, but they also know that silence carries regret. And for the first time, regret feels far more frightening than vulnerability. What happened next changed everything. One quiet afternoon, they imagined seeing you again after all this time. They pictured the conversation over and over in their mind. In every version, they began with the same simple words, "There's something I should have told you a long time ago." Those words stayed with them for the rest of the day. They realized they didn't need a perfect speech. They didn't need every answer. They only needed the courage to be genuine. My beloved child, the secret your soulmate has wanted you to know goes deeper than love alone. They want you to know that you changed them. Because of you, they learned to value honesty over pride. Because of you, they discovered that true strength is found in vulnerability. Because of you, they became more compassionate, more patient, and more willing to open their heart. Whether you knew it or not, your presence left a lasting mark on their life. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate has made a quiet promise to themselves. They no longer want fear to decide the direction of their life. They no longer want unfinished feelings to remain hidden forever. They understand that every meaningful journey begins with one courageous step, and they are preparing themselves to take it. Listen carefully because this is the moment where hope begins to replace uncertainty. The silence is growing weaker. The excuses are fading away. The walls they built around their heart are beginning to crumble. They can almost see the future they once believed was impossible, not because everything is certain, but because they have finally decided to live with honesty instead of fear. My beloved child, this story is a reminder that real love is never measured by dramatic promises or impossible predictions. It grows through sincere words, mutual respect, forgiveness, and the willingness to face difficult conversations with an open heart. Sometimes the greatest secret is simply the courage to say, "You mattered to me more than you ever knew." But don't leave yet. The final chapter is still ahead. In the conclusion, your soulmate finally reveals the truth they have carried in silence, the burden of fear is lifted, and this story ends with hope, healing, peace, and the promise that every lesson has prepared both hearts for whatever comes next. Stay till the end, my beloved child. The most beautiful ending is about to begin. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully because we have reached the final chapter of this journey. Everything that has happened until this moment. The silence, the distance, the unanswered questions, the sleepless nights, and the quiet hope that never completely disappeared, has been leading here. Stay till the end because the truth your soulmate has carried for so long is finally ready to be set free. This is where fear loses its voice, where love finds its courage, and where healing begins. Your soulmate has spent so much time wondering whether the right moment would ever come. They waited for life to become less complicated. They waited for certainty to replace doubt. They waited for a sign that everything would work out perfectly. But then they realized something that changed their heart forever. The perfect moment was never going to arrive. The only moment they truly had was the one in front of them. And they no longer wanted to waste it hiding behind fear. Listen carefully because this changes everything. One quiet evening, they finally admitted the truth they had been afraid to face. They whispered, "I don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering what would have happened if I had simply been honest." Those words lifted a burden they had carried for far too long. For the first time, they stopped trying to silence their heart and started listening to it instead. They understood that even if the future remained uncertain, living truthfully would always bring more peace than living with regret. What happened next changed everything. They imagined standing before you with nothing left to hide. No carefully rehearsed speeches. No masks. No pride. Just honesty. In that quiet moment, they pictured themselves saying, "There is something I should have told you a long time ago. You changed my life in ways I never expected. You taught me that love is not about perfection, it is about kindness, patience, trust, and having the courage to be real. Thank you for being part of my journey." My beloved child, the secret they wanted you to know was never about a mysterious prediction or an impossible promise. It was much simpler, yet far more powerful. They wanted you to know that meeting you transformed them. Because of you, they became more compassionate. Because of you, they learned the value of vulnerability. Because of you, they discovered that real love is not about possessing another person, it is about wishing them peace, happiness, and growth, whatever the future may hold. Stay till the end because something beautiful is waiting for you. As your soulmate embraced the truth, something unexpected happened inside them. The fear that had once controlled every decision began to fade. In its place came a quiet confidence, not because they suddenly knew how everything would end, but because they knew they were finally living honestly. They realized that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing truth even when the outcome is unknown. Listen carefully because this is the greatest lesson of all. Every delay carried a purpose. Every disappointment taught wisdom. Every season of waiting helped shape stronger hearts. The journey was never only about finding another person. It was also about becoming the kind of person capable of giving and receiving love with maturity, grace, and respect. That is the hidden miracle within this story. My beloved child, whether this tale reminds you of your own life or simply encourages your heart, let it leave you with hope rather than fear. Real relationships are built through honest communication, mutual care, forgiveness, and trust. They cannot be forced by predictions, nor guaranteed by signs. But they can flourish when two people choose sincerity over pride and compassion over fear. So lift your head and walk forward with confidence. Keep growing. Keep believing in the goodness that still exists in the world. Keep your heart open, but never lose yourself while waiting for someone else. The love that truly belongs in your life will honor your peace, respect your worth, and encourage you to become the best version of yourself. And if one day your paths cross again, may the conversation begin not with fear, but with honesty. Not with regret, but with understanding. Not with silence, but with kindness. Because the most beautiful endings are not the ones where every wish comes true. They are the ones where both hearts have grown enough to meet the future with wisdom, hope, and peace. This story does not end with goodbye. It ends with healing. It ends with courage. It ends with gratitude. And it ends with the quiet confidence that whatever is truly meant for you will find its way in the right time, through truth, respect, and love. The end.